So, you're looking for a job, and it might have been a while since you had your last one. It could be any job at this point, or the job of your dreams. But so far, you've been receiving nothing but automated replies and silence. What if I told you I could help? Welcome to our career series for lighting professionals. This episode for sure will be useful for you. Hello, my name is David, and I'm here with I.G.M's very own Human Resources Officer, Gregory Cummings. He's been practicing HR for over 20 years, and I can tell you, he's seen an application or two. So I've asked him to give us some insights, some quick advice on what will make us notice you among the average applicant. Greg, thanks for being here.
Hi, David.
Okay, let's jump right into it. For those not getting interviews, or even the return call after applying for jobs they may be suitable for, what may be some of those issues that may appear?
But as you said, I've seen a good few applications, and most don't stand out. Mm-hmm. And that may not be because persons haven't put in the effort. What I find is more the case is that persons do the same thing. Mm-hmm. So we know an application or two, we know some place to go for a CV, we all go there and we plug in the information. Mm-hmm. So by the time the applications get to my desk, all of them basically look alike. Mm-hmm. So I'm glad you're doing the series on what can an applicant do to stand out. And generally, a lot of experience, especially for some industries they covers, the technical industry, is not a big deal. And I know sometimes people see that as a reason why they would not apply to certain businesses. Right. So you'd find, for example, especially persons with little experience, applying to very run-of-the-mill places. Right. So supermarkets, for example, we get a lot of young people applying. And the reason why, and this could be my first tip, is because some may say, well, that's a lighting company. I don't know anything about lighting, so I don't apply. So the message I'm trying to get across is when you do find some place that you want to apply, what you would not want to do is to limit your scope, because even lighting companies or technical companies still require admin support. And the same types of skills that you'd find in different businesses, you'd also find in technical businesses. But to stand out, the idea is not to have that cut and paste going on, where one application is like another application.
Okay, so as a result, some people may be unintentionally limiting themselves in their job search. Maybe it may be because, let's say you studied this at school, so you think this is where your job needs to be. Or you worked in this recently, maybe your next job has to be the exact same thing. Why do you think that is?
Right, so if you're comfortable to limit yourself and focus on particular industries, fine, by all means do that. Mm-hmm. So the tip is for those persons who may not know that they were actually limiting themselves. Mm-hmm. But I put that down to the applicants not covering what I call the basic 4 R's, right? The first R is that of research. And I want to say it again. Research. You don't get enough of it and it's obvious. If at the end of your application it doesn't seep research, the research isn't obvious in it, maybe you haven't done enough of research. Okay. Let me put it another way. If it is that you are able to take that application, put I.G.M's name in it and send it, take out I.G.M's name and put somebody else's name in it and send it, maybe you have not yet done enough research. And that is what you want to get to. You want to actually research. So once you have the list or a place that you want to apply for a position, it's important that you do the research. And that research comes in not only for the application, but may come in later for the interview.
Okay.
So to reiterate, important to do
Research. Research is key, okay? But you mentioned 4. So what are the other 3 that we're looking into? What is the next R in this 4 R's?
My next R would be relevance. And that is another key. Relevance. You take your time, having done the research,
Right.
to tailor your application for the vacancy being advertised.
Okay.
And that is important as well, to recognize that not every job experience that you've had
Right.
is relevant.
Okay.
Not for that vacancy. And not every non-job experience you've had is irrelevant.
Oh, so basically, if I worked at a farm for 5 years, I wouldn't put that in my application for a tech company. Basically,
It depends
on
what
you
you
did
are
at the
doing
farm.
at the firm.
Fair enough.
And it's important that you say that, because a lot of people, sometimes you find it at an interview, you find those kernels coming out that you will never guess from their application. But it may have chances that it would have been something else that got them to the interview, right? Which would have been a good thing. But what you want to do to stand out is to make sure that the experience that you've had, whether job related or not, once it is related to the vacancy, that is in the application.
So touching on relevance, some of our applicants, or the majority of them in this generation, tend to pack everything into the basket and send it off, hoping that one thing or some things in that application would resonate with the employer, right? What are some of the consequences you would see occurring as a result of that?
That's an approach where, as you say, you pelt everything and hope that something sticks. And for you, it may work, especially if you're cutting and pasting. One employer to the next to send out many applications.
Right.
But it becomes tedious for an employer. And that's not the way you want to stand out at all. What then happens is that, as I said at the beginning, one application looks like the next. And if it is that you're pelting everything at it, chances are there will be some employers who would, as soon as they get past page 2, they'll be looking at another application. So if you pair that with the research, you should have by now enough information of the company you are applying to. You certainly have enough information of yourself. You should be an expert on you. And the idea for relevance is to pair those two together, where you, knowing what the company is about, knowing what you can offer, you apply and make those experiences count. But there's another tip, because is at that stage that you are in prime position, that even if a vacancy doesn't exist because you've studied the company so well, you can actually propose a position. The position may not have even been advertised, but you can propose a position.
Understood. Okay. So I'm beginning to see how these R's, even though they have their own function, they tie into each other at the root of the problem, right? So those first 2 for sure have not been on many people's radar, right? But we're only 2 done. We have 2 more to go.
Yep.
What are the other 2?
Well, the third one, and I've listed this in order of importance to me based on the applications that we see. And to me, the third one is what I call reality only, please. Present what actually is in your application. Some people go beyond fluff. And they overemphasize things. They tell white lies. And let me see if I can put it one way. A house built on white lies is like a house built on sand. it isn't going to last for very long. So my advice is that employers are not expecting you to be perfect, because wherever there's a shortcoming, employers can train, but they expect you to be real.
Okay. Understood. That's 3. We're at number 4 now.
Number 4, I left it for last purposely. Number 4 is review. Review. Another word for it is proofread.
Okay.
But proofread can be a skill. It need not be a long study, but it is something worth looking up, because sometimes people proofread by reading back.
Right.
And the science in that is sometimes you read what is on your mind and you may not therefore pick up obvious mistakes.
Right.
So if we put all of these together at the review stage, it may very well be that you can even ask somebody with experience to help you to pack in relevance, because there may be some things that you can put in there, but that person may be able to see that it isn't in there. You can see if the application has enough information on the company being applied for. So in terms of research, that can happen. And then the obvious in proofreading, things like grammatical errors, etc. And especially if you are applying for an administrative job, chances are an employer will not call you back if the business communication is weak.
Okay. Understood.
So those are the 4 R's.
Right. So we have research.
Research.
We have relevance.
Relevance.
Reality and review.
And review. Correct.
Try it. You know what? Check out our Facebook and our Instagram. We have some vacancies posted there. You can go and practice them right now. Who knows?
Sure.
Maybe you will be our next team member. And that is it for our career series for lighting professionals. Be sure to check out our other related content on our Facebook and our IG page. We'll see you next time.